Great. So, this week we want to share with you really about do you know where you are going? It's very, very important to know where you're going on your journey. And, as we start off, one of the very, very key things on knowing where you're going on your journey is all about knowing your whys. Why are you going to do what you're going to do? Why are you going to take that action to achieve what you want to achieve? We usually say your whys should make you cry. In other words, they should be so deep in your heart and emotion that as you think about them, it just brings those tears to your eyes. For example, many of us, we know that our parents sacrificed to help us to achieve. And so many, many people, just as an example, would have a desire to retire their parents. But imagine if you could retire your parents and send them on a cruise every year. In other words, you're retiring them to live life at its fullest. I think that would be a dream for most people. So that's just an example of a why. Again, your why should make you cry. I'll let Jeanette add some more on this.
That's true. I mean, if you have that strong why, like for me, my why is as important as the air that I breathe. Because if I don't do this, for me, my life is meaningless. Meaning that my why is really to build legacy for my kids. That's how strong it is. So if there is anything that I can do for my kids, it's building that legacy, because I want them to be set for life. I don't want them to struggle. I want to break the cycle of job. That's what I want. And, this is where it's going to motivate you. Everything in life, we go through ups and downs, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your job, it's your business, it's your everyday living. We go through ups and downs. If you don't have that strong why, like a purpose for your existence, then you are not going to succeed.
Absolutely. So again, as you know where you're going, as you know those whys, as you feel those whys deep inside of you, that these are things I have to do. These are things I have to make happen, Again, it's for your parents, it's for your children, it's for your church, your charity. These are things I have to make happen. Now, it's about creating the targets and promises that will lead you to achieve those whys. So, going back, if you say, well, I want to be able to retire my parents and send them on a cruise every year. Well, what do I need to do? What's the target I need to achieve to make that happen? Well, as an example, you could say I need to create a $10,000 per month income in my business. That's my target, because I know if I create a $10,000 per month income in my business, now I can retire my parents and send them on a cruise. See, when you want to create this success, when you want to be able to go towards becoming a self-made millionaire, making your dreams come true, again, you got to know very, very clearly, why you're doing it. Then you got to know very, very clearly what's the targets to achieve that's going to let you do it. Again, I think last week I spoke about you would not get in your car and say you're in Toronto and you want to go to Seattle. You wouldn't just get in your car and start to drive aimlessly. No, you'd either go on Google Maps and, map it out, or if you're like myself, you have a GPS, and you type in the address in the GPS to take you step by step on your way to Seattle. It's the exact same thing when you want to achieve your dreams becoming reality. You got to know your whys, then you got to know what's the targets and promises, and now you can start to work step by step by step to achieve those target and promises that will take you to your whys.
Whys and targets go along together, because targets now is you're shooting for something. This is now where it's like that finish line, right? Like, your purpose, why you're doing it. You already established that. Now, what you wanted to do is you wanted to focus now, focus on that target. And you need to align yourself to what you want and what your target before you can become successful. You can't just say, this is my whys, but my target is just this, like small. It's always better to dream big, ask for big, because you will receive much more. So your whys and your target, they must align together, and then now you need to take action towards that, achieving those.
It's just as Les Brown said, you know, most people fail in life not because they aim high and miss, but because they aim low and hit. So again, aim high, shoot for the moon, you miss, you land among the stars. Have big dreams, big whys, big targets.
But of course, what you wanted to do is you wanted to have like a step-by-step guidance. In everything in life, you need to have system for you to be successful. Like you need to have a clear understanding. We're still talking about mindset here, but now you're now focusing now on achieving that target. Like I said, that finish line. So there's 3 questions you must ask yourself, and you need to write down the answer. Just like if you were going to have a vision board, just like if you have this daily affirmation, this should be in alignment with all those. This should be in everywhere that you look at. So you need to know how much money do you want it to make per month. You need to be precise and you need to be clear. You can't just say, I want it to be rich. I want it to be filthy rich, right? I want to be, living in a mansion, in a car. You want it to know how much it is that you want it to make per month. So if you want to make 100,000 a month, that's great. If you want to make, 10,000 a month, just make sure that you are clear and precise to how much you really want it to make per month.
Absolutely. Now, once you know how much you want to make per month, and again, you can see how this is moving through from what are your whys, again, from your whys, what are your targets and promises, now concrete action, because let's face it, it's not the money, but almost everything we want to achieve, you need money to achieve it. You want to take your kids to Disney World, you need money to achieve that. Again, you want to send your parents on a cruise, you need money to achieve that. So now, when you look at what you want in your life, how much money do I need to make per month to get to what I want to achieve? Have that very clear figure in your mind. See it clearly in your mind. Write it down. Very important. Once you know that, then how many hours per week, am I willing to commit to achieve that income? Okay, very, very important, because if you want to make $500 a month, that's totally different from if you want to make, let's say, $10,000 per month. So there has to be a correlation here. So, if you're going to say, well, I want to make $10,000 per month, but I'm willing to work 1 hour per week, then let me tell you, that's called fantasy, not reality. Okay, so you got to have a correlation. Hey, you know what? If I want to make $10,000 per month, then I'm going to be willing to work, let's say 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week. Like, you're going to have a realistic correlation on paper, because when you commit it to paper, then it becomes real. It's there in black and white. So step by step, from how much money and then how many hours per week am I willing to commit?
Definitely. I mean, the efforts that you put in will match how much you want it to make a month. Like, you can't, this is not one of those those quick rich, what do you call it?
Get rich
quick, yes, scheme. So this is not, this webinar is all about. We are going to help you get you from 0 to million, step by step, but you need to follow that. You need to be consistent and you need to take action. So for you to say, clearly, like think of it like really how many hours am I willing to commit. So let's say you establish that. So you establish how much per month you want it to make, and you have already established how many hours per week you're willing to work. So what you wanted to do is you need to have now a calendar, a schedule, your agenda book, whatever it is. You take it out and you mark in there the hours that you wanted to work. Let's say, for example, your target is 10,000 per month. And you say, you know what, I have a full-time job. I can only work my business part-time. That's great. Part-time is amazing, and I like what Jim Rohn said. You know, I have a full-time job, but I'm working part-time for my fortune, right? Or I'm working part-time, you know, to get you to where you want it to be, your fortune. So what you wanted to do is you wanted to write down on your calendar the days and the hours you're gonna be working per week. So let's say you decided to work 10 hours a week, okay, 10 to 20 hours a week, and that's part-time. So you need to know which day you're going to be working those. So if you say, okay, you know what, I'm really serious about making these commitments, and I'm really wanting to get to my target in a short period of time. So I'm working 40 hours a week in my full-time job, but I'm willing to put in 10 hours, 15 hours a week into my part-time business. So now you've established that. Now you say, okay, I'm going to work the same as my job, Monday to Friday, just like getting a second job, because at least I got a weekend off. So I'm going to work 2 hours or 3 hours after work. And that's Monday to Friday. Okay, so you want to make sure that those hours that you decided to work your business, you're going to follow through, just like your job. What happened if you missed your job? You either get fired or you don't get paid, right? So it should be the same thing with your business. You need to make sure that you're committed to the number of hours and the days that you decided to work. So now, once you establish that, for how long am I willing to work this? I mean, your job, you work now, the retirement is increasing every year. It's not even work for 40 years and take off 40. It's not even that the case. So how long do you want to work this part-time job so that you can fire your boss? So if you say, I'm going to commit to this number of hours, I'm going to commit to this number of days for a year or 2 years to make sure that I'm there resting and lying down enjoying the beach.
Folks, you know, when you look at this, you say to yourself, well, the current retirement age is 67 from job, okay? And most people at 67, they can't even retire properly. I just spoke to a gentleman. He worked over 40 years in his job, and now at the end of that 40 years, guess what? He's now looking for part-time work to do. I went into Walmart, met a gentleman, 82 years old. Okay, so 82 years old, still is not able to retire on his pension. We all know these realities today of life. Now, with the journey we're taking you on, there's people we personally know, age 30, age 40, age 50, they're retired and their families are set for life. So, you know, much like that first why where we said you'd like to retire your parents, send them on cruises every year. Again, we know people 30, 40, 50, they're already retired, they're able to do that. They're already retired. Their children are set up for life. They can send their children to the best universities. They can donate to their favorite charities and causes. So when we say how long are you willing to put in the effort to make this happen? If you're talking about changing your life, being able to make a difference in the lives of your family, set up for your children, being able to support your favorite causes, you know, let's say you want to make $10,000 a month. You better be willing to commit not just months, but years to make that happen. because you're willing to commit 40, 50 years to a job that's not even going to let you retire and have the life you want. You better be willing to commit at least, let's say, 5 years of serious focused effort to a business that once it's set up can pay you and change your life for the rest of your life.
And just to let you know, right now, last week, we just kind of help you with your mindset, because everything in life has to be proper mindset. And now we're taking you through, these targets, these whys, the dreams that you wanted to achieve, because this is the steps necessary for you to take from 0 to million. There's no shortcut in life, everybody. You need to follow system. Even the millionaires, even Bill Gates, even, Warren Buffett, every single millionaires, billionaires, they have system. There is no such thing. Like if you want to be, waking up and become a millionaire, then you might as well buy a lotto ticket, right? But even that could take you years or forever for you to even win $1 million. Like, what a chance of you winning $1 million. So you might as well follow the system that we're going to teach you, from taking you from 0 to becoming a millionaire. And so now this is all about preparation, right? Just like, if you wanted to build a really tall tower, you need to have a really good foundation. So what we're telling you right now is foundation, because when you go through, like I said, that ups and down, then you know exactly where to focus and what to do. So now you need to have a clear mindset. So we talked to you about the mindset before, what you wanted to achieve, and you need to align your desire with your mindset. So now we need to now get your mindset clear on the creating a vehicle now to allow you to achieve what you want. So we wanted to now show you a vehicle for you to attain that.
If you think you can wake up tomorrow and become a millionaire, then you shouldn't be on this training. Just go buy your lottery ticket. If you have special power that the winning numbers, buy your lottery ticket and congratulations. Otherwise, again, it's all about step by step. Okay, and it's all about having a vehicle, a way that has proven system you can follow step by step. Others have done it step by step, and now you can follow and achieve what they have achieved. Again, if you think of greatest franchise in the world is McDonald's. Now, how can a 15-year-old run a multi-million-dollar franchise? Why? Because everything is step by step. Take the fries, put them in the oil for 2 minutes at 350 degrees, take them out, shake them off, put on salt, and serve. It's step by step to success. And so the greatest athletes, Usain Bolt, how does he set world records? Guess what? Step by step training, doing the consistent things over and over for 4 years. Then he shows up at the Olympics and wins that gold medal. So that's what we're talking to you about, is now having a vehicle, clearing your mind so that it knows, okay, here's exactly what I want. Now, what is the vehicle I can create to achieve what I want? Now, the simplest vehicle that we know, and where we personally work with self-made millionaires, and not only self-made millionaires, but self-made millionaires who've created other self-made millionaires, is having a home-based business that, again, gives you a system that's step by step to go where you want to go.
Yes, so I've tried it. I had my traditional business. It didn't go really well, and we all know that. We have so many here in Canada. We have one of the biggest department stores just shutting down all the stores nationwide. And Sony store, that they've been around for many years. They're closing down their stores. So it's really the best vehicle for you to achieve your dreams, to achieve your target and that financial abundance is really having a home-based business.
So once you decide that, you know what, home-based business is my best vehicle, again, unless you have $250,000 to $2 million to go and buy a franchise, but even with franchises, you're looking at 5 years to breaking even, and even after that, only 33% become really successful. So, you know, if you have that money, but again, good luck to you. Now, home-based business, which is your best option if you want to go ahead and create your dreams becoming reality. Now, according to Forbes magazine, home-based businesses are quickly becoming the fastest growing form of business startups. And, you know, the reasons for that are very clear. And we're just going to go through this list. We'll take one at a time. So first one, again, low startup costs and low overhead. You know, any type of traditional business you want to start, you're looking at 80,000 plus, depending on what you're wanting to start. Franchises, you're looking typically 250,000 plus, and that's just the startup fee. You know, Jeanette will tell you, if you have the startup fee, it's okay, but then the monthly overhead, paying employees, paying your lease, you know, bringing in inventory. This is what becomes a challenge to keep yourself afloat for most people. Home-based business, low startup costs, low overhead. You don't have to worry about those things when you're launching a home-based business.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I started my small boutique, and that alone costs me over 250,000. And if you have that money, it's great. But the monthly overhead is what's killing a small businesses. 20,000 per month overhead. And you can avoid that. That's part of your operating cost to be open for business. But the second advantage of home-based business is a turnkey operations and often plugging into a built system. So home-based business, usually they already have a pretty established system that all you need to do is follow that system to guarantee your success. So you don't have to invent things. You don't have to go through trial and errors. It's all there. Provided for you. All you have to do is follow that towards your success.
Research and development and proven products. Now, just one product in the business that I know costs $2 million in research and development. You know, imagine if you had to go ahead and do that yourself, but with home-based business, you often get to plug in to that's already being done. Somebody already put in the money, the time, the effort in research and development and creating proven products. All you got to do is plug in and start using them for success.
Ability to scale up and leverage. So again, with home-based business, it's usually pretty set up for you. All you have to do is really take on to what they're telling you. So leverage others, people, times, and efforts, right? So that's why it's easy, and it's the simplest for you to get to where you want it to be.
Now, no commute with your home-based business. So all the time can be focused on revenue generating activity. So this is very important, especially if you're going to be doing something part-time on top of your job, because you want to be able to take all your time that you have that you can dedicate to your business and 100% be focused on revenue generating activities. Again, you know, you talk about a franchise. I know someone who opened a very large franchise, and for years they had to go at, you know, 2, 3 a.m. to unpack the truck, delivering the inventories, you know. So all that time just in logistics and preparation. Here, you got a home-based business, boom, you just go to your computer usually, you can put 100% of your time immediately into revenue generating activities.
Global potential at no additional cost. This is very important, okay? Because your traditional business, and I know this because I've done it, my local store is in my local neighborhood. So my target market is within my vicinity, right? For example, if my store is in Toronto, people in Vancouver, people in Montreal even, it's a driving distance, are not going to go drive all the way to my store. So now with a home-based business, you now have a potential to have your business globally, international, at no extra cost. You can expand to pretty much wherever you want it to expand. And we're going to share with you on the next webinar some of the key benefits or importance of deciding which business to go for, because what you want it to be is you want it to have a global business, because now you can expand globally at no additional cost.
Well, this is one of my favorites, major tax benefits. You know, working in wealth management, I told you there's 3 things that I identified the wealthy do. This is absolutely one of the 3, and right at the top of the list. All wealthy people use business for the tax benefits. And tying back to number 6, the more global your business, the more global those tax benefits, the more major those tax benefits become. And just the tax benefits, the return that you can get from tax savings, tax strategies through business, that alone can fund your retirement to make you wealthy.
Flexibility in working hours and more free time to do what you want. This is what I love about home-based business. If you have a full-time job and you're deciding to build your fortune, your part-time fortune, then you wanted to get a home-based business. But the beauty about the home-based business, unlike a second job where you have to go travel again and you need to have this fixed schedule, you now have flexibility to the working hours that you wanted to work. But remember what I said earlier, even though it's flexible, you need to be focused and you need to be consistent in those days and hours that you're going to put in your business. But again, the beauty about this being flexible hours is that you can always adjust this in case there's some emergency or there's really something that you need to do and you can work your business, so you can always make up for those hours. And now once you're working your home-based business, then you now have more free time. By that time, you already fired your boss. Now you really have more flexible hours to work your business. So now you can do whatever you want, and now you have more free time. You can even do your business, at the beach or when you travel.
You can test out business ideas at low cost. Now, as Jeanette shared with you, next week, we're going to give you some tips, some pointers on choosing a right business for success. But you know what? If you're starting a home-based business and you spend a few hundred, a few $1,000s, and it wasn't the right decision, okay, well, you tried it out and it was a low cost. That's totally different, again, from opening traditional business, spending $80,000 plus, opening a franchise, spending $250,000 plus, only to discover it was the wrong decision. That's a very, very expensive lesson. But when you start a home-based business, usually a few hundred, few $1,000s you're in business, so you can test it out to see, at low cost. But as I said, next week, we're going to give you some pointers that you can go ahead and make a very smart decision right from your first choice on the right business for success.
So really the bottom line is the profitability can be achieved much faster. It is much faster to earn your first dollar working a part-time home-based business than a traditional business. Like Sean mentioned earlier, a franchise or any traditional business, for you to even break even, you're going to need to spend at least 3 years to 5 years to break even. And here, you achieve that success, that first dollar much faster.
Absolutely. In fact, if you're choosing the right type of business, literally from day one, you could have broken even or being in profit. And again, we'll share more with you on that next week. Now, this is one of my favorite again. In looking at the wealthy, this is one of the things they do. They create a business, global business that has residual income. Okay, so in a home-based business, you have residual income potential that once you've created it, you can now will it and pass it on to the next generation. Because if you're building in the right type of business, not only is this residual income potential can happen for your lifetime, but it can continue on into your children, your grandchildren's, and beyond lifetime. And absolutely an incredible, incredible benefit and potential of having a home-based business.
And it has created the most self-made millionaire in the past 50 years. Home-based business, there's 1% in populations that are millionaires, okay? And most of those people are through a home-based business, and they become self-made millionaires, and through the home-based business. There's hardly people that that become a millionaire through a job, or unless they own, of course, the company or traditional business. Unless you have multiple franchises, it's really hard to get into that millions. Okay, we're not talking about millions in retail sales. We're talking about pure profit. We're talking about money that you take home, money that you made. So the most majority of the people that are self-made millionaires is through a home-based business.
Absolutely. One of our biggest franchises here in Canada is $1 million to start up. They guarantee you $40,000 take-home income. So that's why most of the people who own that franchise, they end up opening multiple franchises to try and get to success. Of course, the more franchises they open, the more costs and expenses, the much more years for them to become a millionaire. Home-based business, we know people becoming millionaires within 3 to 5 years, because the overhead, the cost was so low. Again, everything basically became profit, and you become a millionaire. You have low ongoing costs. We know people whose ongoing costs, is less than $500 a month, and they're earning in excess of $100,000 a month. That type of return on investment, believe me, home-based business is the place that can get you that. So we thank you for joining myself, Bella Jeanette, today. We look forward to see you next week. As I said, we're going to be sharing with you some specific ways to look for the right type of business and some specific actions to take on getting your business to success. So my name is Sean Haynes. Thank you for joining us. I'll let Bella Jeanette say the final word.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to today's webinar. We are committed to helping you to take you from 0 to $1 million. You just need to take action. So everything in life has to take that commitment to take action. So it's just proof that you're taking action because you're here today listening to us. So we thank you everyone, and we see you next week.